My first question to
Yes.
you. So you call yourself the Lion Queen. Like, where did you get that name from, and why do you call yourself that?
Okay, so my alter ego, my spirit animal is a lion. I love what lions represent. I just love the beauty of lions. When it comes down to the women in the lion pack, they're the ones that are more of the providers, the hunters, the king of the jungle, the main male lion, but the women are the ones that keep everything together. So I kind of look at like that's how the world actually is. Like the women, we sometimes don't get as much credit as we should and that we deserve. So the lions just resonate with me like a lot. Um, I was calling myself, when my fans started calling me Queen of the South.
Hmm.
Um, but then we had a lot of people started popping up saying they was Queen of the South as well.
Yeah.
They called me Queen of the South because a line that I had in my song that had nothing to do with actually being the physical Queen of the South.
Hmm.
So when that happened, when everybody was calling themselves Queen of the South, Queen of Atlanta, and all that, I was like, well, I'm gonna digress because I ain't even trying to claim all that right now. Like, I was like, nah, I don't want to even get into the mix of everybody's trying to get a title. Like, it was a whole different purpose on why Queen of the South was given to me. So I was like, man, I'm the Lion Queen then instead of the Lion King. We know about the Lion King, but I'm the Lion Queen. So that's kind of where it all just came together at. Like, I love my lions. I'm still a queen, but then like boom, put together.
So, how specifically
Thank
did you
you.
come to find out that you had a singing and a rapping voice?
To be honest, I started singing first before I was even in grade school. I think I started singing. Then I started singing in a church. I was in the choir. When I got into elementary school, I started doing like drama, musical theater, all the way up into high school. I felt like rapping was my forte. I think that because I grew up in the church, looking at singing as a career, it was kind of like taboo because so I kind of like just flipped it and like, nah, I ain't singing. I'm just gonna rap. I started off singing first. Like I said, I didn't think of me as a singer. I just knew that I could carry a tune. But that's how I started.
I know a lot of people think you grew up in LA on the West Coast, but you grew up in East
Mhm.
Atlanta, Zone 6
Right.
specifically. So, how do you feel growing up there has helped shape your music?
I've seen a lot, been through a lot. I think my experiences here in the South just made me more well-rounded. I love LA. I love the vibes out there when you just go to visit, but like the South is home. And again, like I said, I've been through a lot, being in poverty or growing up in the hood, and to like have aspirations to get out of the hood, to not be in gangs, to not be around violence, and to want to help your community. I think that puts a fire underneath you. Like I feel like if I was raised in LA or like in Calabasas, like my other family members, or even in Compton, like my grandma had everybody kind of doing the right thing. So I felt like I would have been on a better path as far as just like keeping myself out of trouble. But like here, I was in trouble. I did stuff that I wasn't supposed to be doing. And it opened my eyes and I learned a lot from those mistakes that I made. So I just think that, the East Side just really put me in a position to learn way faster than I was supposed to learn.
And would you say, like, growing up there has helped humble you? Because I really feel like you're a very humble person. Like, jeez.
Yeah, I definitely feel like the Southern hospitality, for one, got a lot of
Hmm.
mannerism, a lot of respect, and then my history, my past, like the things that I've been through, really has made me appreciate life and appreciate others and their time. So I definitely think that it keeps you humble. It keeps the dog in you to want to fight and to be successful when you're growing up in East Atlanta, but it also humbles you and teaches you values of your family, your friends, and you honor those things. So I definitely think that it kept me grounded.
And I know you talk a lot about how you grew up. Like, you weren't in the fancy life as a lot of people thought. Like, you stated
Yeah.
you grew up poor, you were even homeless at one point. Like, how did you overcome those types of situations and challenges and could just continue to stay motivated to pursue your dream?
Right. I really just give credit to God, like a lot with that. At the time, I may not have known what God was working on for me, but as I look back at things, it's like, ain't no way I made it out of this situation without Him. So I really feel like it was him. I have a lot of people in my life as well that are motivational to me, that I get up every day to work for. Like my son. My son is a big inspiration to me, and I make sure that I grind as much as I can for him. But when it comes down to like why things got executed the way they got executed, of course my work ethic is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like God gave me that. Like I feel like He instilled that in me. So I just give all praises to Him when it comes down to how did I get out of the situations that I was in. It was God, and how do I persevere and keep a good mind and keep a good heart and not be bitter and not be angry. I just feel like that's just God just working on me and making me be a soldier of His.
So, what was that specific turning point for you? Like, you were growing up, you were getting into trouble, going through all these things, but what was like that just like, I need to do this, I need to focus on my music, and like, what was the point of light, I guess you could say?
I guess I would really say I had having my son. I had my son. I got pregnant at 16. Um, and when I got pregnant, I was I was still doing well, like in school. Like I was an honor roll student. I love school. That was like my escape from the real world, just because I got to be around teachers and adults that I felt like that loved me, and friends, and it was a safe place for me. And I ran track. I played basketball. Um, but when I got pregnant, I was like, ain't no way. Like I ain't even like. What do you mean? I'm like, no, I'm running track. Like like I don't even know how to put it, but like he brought me so much happiness
Mm-hmm.
that I can't, like, you can't buy nowhere. And just seeing all the things that I went through in my life, I was like, I never had my son go through what I went through.
Mm-hmm.
So that just made me be like, I'm getting on top of my shit. I'm making sure that I do everything that I got to do. People doubted me. Of course, like I said, I had them when I was in high school. So people didn't think I was going to graduate. I ended up graduating with honors, the top of my
Yeah.
class. And I was like, look, I'm never turning back. Like, no matter how many times I may, hit the dead end, I'm still gonna figure out another way to get around it. And that's just how it kind of been. Like each year, I just progress, just because I know that I got to do it for him. Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't, he hasn't had to experience the stuff that I've been through, and I don't want him to ever, and I don't want him to struggle. I don't want him to have a hard time growing up in life. Like I just want things to be as perfect as possible for him, just because he deserves that. Um, so that's really what just made me like click and like, look, you got to get serious. Even though you're young, you're an adult now. You got to raise a child, and you got to figure this out. So I ain't look back. I ain't turn back.
So I know you said you got into music more so because of your mom's side, not because of
Mm-hmm.
who your dad is. So when
Mm-hmm.
you found out who your dad really was, like, did that encourage you and inspire you to go even harder with your career, or is it about the same?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. It it actually got me scared, because I
Scared.
was like, yeah, well, when I found out that my dad was actually a musician, I was younger.
Mm.
Um, but it did, as I got older and I decided to do music, it did kind of give me like just some reserves, because I want to be as great as he is now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like you get compared, especially if your father or your mother is somebody that was influential in the same career that you're trying to pursue. Like, you want to be as good as them or better. And it's
Yeah.
like, how do you top a legend? That's hard. And then others compare you that way too. So I was like, it was frustrating, because I wanted to make sure that I made him proud and made his fans proud and made my family proud. But could I do it as great as he did,
Mm-hmm.
or better? I just didn't know. So some days I'd be like, nah, like, how can I top this? But then I just realize, like, I got it in me. Whatever it is that I'm supposed to be doing, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be a legend, if I'm gonna be greater, if I'm gonna be, but whatever it is I'm supposed to be, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And that's just me getting more into my faith and just trusting in God, that God's gonna put me in the situations that I need to be put in, and not to have fear. Like, you can't be faithful and have fear. It doesn't make
Right.
sense. So I had to realize that. And so in the beginning, it was like a little catch-22, like, oh, you gotta be as great as Eazy E, like, but
Yeah.
nah, I just gotta be as great as Ree. So
Yes.
that's how I started looking at it.
Once you found out who he was, did life like change for you? Like, did you get more opportunities? People started reaching out more.
No, because I was still young. I mean, I still was not even a teenager yet. So
Oh,
when I found out that he was an artist, because again, like I knew my dad was Eric Wright, I just didn't know that my dad was Eazy E. Back then, we had access to the internet, but not like that. You know, like
yeah.
we was just dibbling in the fact that we ain't gotta have so much dial up and all that stuff. So, um, I it didn't really helped me in the beginning. As I got to be an adult, more people, you know, they acknowledged me.
Hmm.
But again, the catch 22 came around. It's like, oh, well, if Easy, your dad, you don't need my help. Oh, you got money. Oh, you got this. Like, and I'm like, no, I need all the help possible. So
Yeah.
then I started being stubborn and I just didn't ask for no help. I didn't want anybody to help me. I'm like, I'm gonna do this on my own. Since
Hmm.
y'all think that because my father, who's my father is, I'm supposed to have it easy, and it's not easy, it's hard. So I'm like, nah, I'm gonna just do it by myself. And I didn't want a big old team. I didn't want a whole bunch of people giving me handouts. I was like, nah, I'm gonna show y'all I can do this by myself. So it was a catch 22. I mean, knowing who he was um benefits me mentally just because now I have something to prove.
Hmm.
But as far as like the helping hands, that didn't really come like that. Because everybody thought I had it made in the shade and I didn't.
And I know as a daughter of a legendary rapper, like you get a lot of recognition because of who he was. But I know you as an artist, you want to establish yourself as you. So like how do you go about handling
Yes.
situations like that and continue to build for yourself and not just live off of who he was?
I make sure that people introduce me as remarkable. If you want to follow up with the daughter of, that's cool. If you want to segue into that, that's cool because that is my bloodline. But when it comes down to like first introductions, I don't like if I get booked, I don't want you to put Easy's daughter. Like we're not doing that. I'm a whole person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's my dad, but I'm a person. I have my own identity. That's what I want to be identified as remarkable, as Henri, whatever, but not Easy's daughter. But it's an accolade I can have that's attached afterwards. We can dig into that afterwards, but I just to set myself apart from everybody else, all my other siblings. I just want to be called who I am. So I think that kind of has helped a lot because you have to know the name. It's just not, oh, there go Easy Daughter right there. It's like, oh, that's Ree, that's remarkable. You know, like that. I think that that helped. But that's the only thing that I could really do is just to be like, no, address me as this, because that's what I want to be known by. But it's dope that I am his daughter, but let's focus on me. So when I do interviews or I meet people, like they want to talk about his legacy and I'm like, look, I was a baby when he died. I know all the stories, of course, but you're not going to get anything outside of what you guys probably have already heard. Maybe a little things here and there that's about his personality, but as far as the business side, like y'all see majority of the stuff on the internet and movies and all this stuff, documentaries. Like ask me about me, ask me about my song that I just recorded, ask me about what I'm doing. Like, and that's kind of how I just directed the conversations since I started doing music. And it's still hard because people still say, "Oh, Easy daughter," but there's a lot of people that know me for me, so I like that.
So what are some goals you have set for your career?
I like to do long term and short term. So right now I'm just working on getting my content and everything together and dropping really good music. Of course, once that good music starts dropping, I want to be on the charts. I want to be a
Hmm.
Billboard charted artist. Then we talk about going gold and going platinum and like everything that a top selling the best artists have accomplished plus more. I definitely want to win a Grammy. I want awards. I want to be nominated. I want to be a household international name. But I also want to be an artist that's remembered to as a inspirational role model. Like I definitely want to be able to touch people. I think that's my biggest goal is to just help others through my music. If I can do that, I think that my dreams are completed because music helped me with that. All the things that I went through in my life, music was always that thing that helped me stay focused, to not give up, to give me hope, give me inspiration. So I feel like if music could do that for me, I could do that for somebody else. And then I have fans that come to me and tell me like, remarkable, I was thinking about committing suicide. I didn't because I heard you speak like this in an interview, or I heard a song that you did and it just changed my outlook on things, and I'm here because of you. That stuff right there, that's the goal. That's what I feel like God put me on the earth for, is to help others. So that's all I want to continue to do. At the end of the day, if I don't become a Grammy award winning artist or whatever the case is, as long as my music is helping people be happy, um, be thankful, then I'm good. Like that's the biggest goal that I have, is just to help the world. I know it sounds so cliche, but that's what I want to do.
So, as a female rapper coming up in this game, like, what are some challenges you face, especially being both a mom and we're in this time of COVID? So,
Yeah. As a male artist, I know that their jobs are hard too, but it's like they don't got to go through as much as that we go through. Like we spend hours in glam, that takes away time from recording, that takes away time from my son. And then on top of that, then we still have to do the recording, and I still have to be a mom. So I literally get, even through COVID, because I feel like I'm working even harder during COVID just because I got something to prove. I feel like I probably get like 3 hours of sleep at the most on a nightly basis. I need to figure out how I can buy more time. If I can figure that out, then I'll be straight. But you can't purchase time. So it's like
yeah.
I just sleep and eat as best as possible so that my body is as healthy as possible. Because right now it's just it's grind time. And being a female artist, you gotta work harder. You gotta work 10 times harder than a male artist. Um,
Yeah.
so it's not easy at all. But like I said, I don't get as much sleep, and I'm okay with that right now, because I feel like in the future I'll be able to chill on a beach or in a different country, and then I can have more time to actually relax. But right now it's like none of that matters. I'm just trying to work during this whole process.
So, what do you want fans to feel, or like, what's the message you want to send when they hear your music?
I feel like I could do any genre, any topic. So it's like I'm gonna make music for the fans, for whatever they going through. If
Mm,
it's they want to turn up, they want a party song, I'm gonna get them that. If they want something that they need to think deeply in, or recollect and understand perseverance, then I'm gonna get them that. If they just want a fun, I'm getting dressed, I'm starting my day type of music. Like I think the messages there, everyone's gonna get a message that fits them, because I'm gonna be making so much music that is not gonna be just one subject. It's not gonna be just
mm-hmm.
one lane that I'm in. I'm one of them highways that got seven, because we're gonna be
Yeah.
coming down every which avenue that's possible. So the messages are gonna be there. Like it's not gonna be just one strict message. It's gonna be something for each type of fan. Just because
Mm.
I feel like I can make any type of music.
So, we're almost in a new year, and I see you're in the studio now. So,
Oh
like,
yeah,
can fans expect like an EP or an album? You know, we begin the singles, but
yeah,
an
yeah.
album or an EP, you know?
Yeah, see that all that stuff be costing a little money
Uh,
now. But no, definitely. I think I'm gonna drop a couple more singles, maybe one or two with no features, and then after that, then that's I'm gonna give y'all a project. Like I'm definitely working on an EP. Probably no album. I want to do an album right. When I do my album, I want to be on the shelves.
yeah.
Of course, we stream everything, but I want to be able to walk into the store and pick up a physical copy
Yes.
of my music. I want my fans to be able to do the same thing and have the little poster in this inside and all that. Like I want to bring back the old times of when we were, buying CDs. So that's when the album will come. But again, that costs. So I would definitely be bringing out an EP this year in 2021. So that's definitely on the way. You guys will be able to get
Yes.
that.
So, how would you separate yourself from other artists? What makes you unique?
It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm very transparent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a person that kind of hides too much, but then I'm not like wild either. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
not just gonna go off the just talking crazy. Like I think before I speak, but I'm very real, and I'm very into myself as far as knowing who I am. So I I think that when I'm like that, I get around other people that I've heard is like Hollywood, or
Mm-hmm.
they act a certain way, but then they get around me and they themselves. Like they have conversations that they probably would be afraid to have conversations with other people. Like I don't know, my energy that I bring around people, I bring to people, it just makes them okay with being who they are.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that kind of helps. Like I talked about, I had a post about me wearing these same shoes that I keep on wearing. I hate wearing heels. Okay. I am not, I was a tomboy growing up. So like the heel thing is like bothersome to me. So these one shoes that I got, these one white booties, and they got like combat underneath it. So it's like comfortable. I will wear them damn shoes everywhere. And I posted it. I'm like, I know y'all tired of me wearing these shoes, but I love these shoes. Other people will be like, oh, I gotta wear this new bag,
Yeah.
this new top, this new hat, this new watch. And I'm like, I'm not like that. I'm like everybody else. Like, you got them go-to shoes. That's what I'm gonna put on. And I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna let y'all know, like, of course I need to expand, but I really like those. But that's just how I am. Like, my fans know that I'm just gonna always keep it 100 with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, I'm not saying other artists aren't 100, but I know that when you're in the light, you gotta live a certain way.
Yeah.
And with me, it's like, I don't care about that. Like, I don't own any designer, so that's kind of how it is. I just keep it real. I'm gonna keep 100. I'm never gonna sugarcoat nothing. Like, as long as I can stay who I am, I pray on that all the time. Never gonna sugarcoat nothing. I'm just be real, and I think that's kind of keeps me, a little bit different from everybody else.
So my last few questions to you. Like, I know you stated that the first season of Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta was trash and it wasn't real. So would you consider doing another season with them or joining another reality TV show?
So we just wrapped season 2. I
Oh.
did do season 2. Again, I don't even know how it's going to play on television. I felt like they gave us a little more control, especially because of COVID. They really couldn't have so many people together like they wanted to. We got a new production group or production team. So everything changed, but it's still some bullshit that happened. It's always gonna be some bullshit that happens. I'm not a big fan of reality TV. I'm really not. Like, I really got on TV to help others around me be able to get that exposure as well. I didn't want to do reality TV. I've been asked to do reality TV from a couple of different networks for years, and I just always turned it down. Um, but I would rather get into acting. If I was going to be on television, that's what I would do. I would do acting. Give me a whole different role. I don't want to be myself. Like, I want to be a whole different character, a whole different person. So that's what I'm working on. Is getting into that lane outside of the reality TV stuff. So the reality TV shows definitely gave me some light, some others to find out who I am. But it just doesn't portray me the way I want it to be portrayed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, if we're not gonna let Ree be Ree, then let me be a whole nother person outside of my actual character that you're acting like is me. So I
Yeah.
would rather just be an actor. Like, I would do the acting, definitely, like 100%. So the reality TV shows are here for right now. I can't say if I'm gonna be coming back for a third season or doing another reality show.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely being on the television is something that I've always dreamed of. Like I said, I did musical theater, I did
Mm-hmm.
drama. So acting is something that I've always loved. And I will continue to do if God puts me in that position to do so.
So what was one of the best moments in your career thus far?
Oh man, I have had so many because I've had, I don't know. I just feel like God just be on my side. I
Yes.
make fun of the fact that I don't think God has favorites, but if He did, I'd probably be one of them because I'm like, how the heck do I just get these opportunities like this? Um, I could just talk about a recent one. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna just spill the beans. I got a record with a legend
Ooh.
as a sample. I'm not gonna
Ah.
tell y'all who, but I got a record that one of the legends in this music industry um, is is sampled on, and he said he loved it. And that right there was just like, oh, I'm good. For him to tell me that the song that I sampled him on and he loves the record and he's ready for it, and we're gonna make sure that we get everything cleared and we good to go. I think that just gave me the confidence boost that I needed to just finish out this 2020. And
Yes.
so that, I mean, that's just that. But like, I every week I hit something that I'm just like, I feel better and better about my music. I feel better and better about myself because I'm just constantly working and I'm not being, lethargic. I'm going at it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I just gave y'all that one because that just happened. So I'm
Yes.
always just hitting these little places that is like, dang, this is happening. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm happy about my career. But that right there, that was amazing for me. I felt really good. So hopefully I can manifest him being in the video as well. That would be super cool.
So my last question to you, what more can we expect from ReeMarkable?
Okay. Um, Definitely more music.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give more content. I feel like I'm open, but I don't feel like I give enough content of me being open. I wanted people to kind of really know the day in the life of what I go through. I try to post, but it's so hard when you're actually working
Mm-hmm.
to remember to take a picture, to remember to take a video. But I want to
Yeah.
start doing that. I want people to see that process. So what I'm hoping is maybe for the EP, I do a whole little vlog so that
Mm-hmm.
people can see what goes into it. So I do want my fans to be all the way in tune to what I'm doing. So like I said, the music, the visuals, I know that I've been bad on making sure that I put visuals out in the past for records. So I am going to make sure that I start doing that. I actually dropped a record last year called Ape Shit that
Mm-hmm.
was produced by 30 Rock and co-written with me and London J. Um, and I didn't shoot a video for it. And my fans is like, well, how you keep giving us songs, but we don't get to see the video. It costs a lot video, especially for me. I'm not just gonna have somebody get this camera and we just outside the house and we just everybody turn like, no, I want concepts. I want all that stuff tied into the music video. So I went ahead and we shot a video for Ape Shit. I let my fans pick from one of the songs that were older and they picked Ape Shit. So
Mm-hmm.
that's dropping like any day now. So
Yes.
that's something to expect really, really soon instead of just waiting on the EP and other stuff. The new visual will be out. Like my PR will let me know. We will figure this out probably today. So I'll have an answer really soon.